10 at 5, developing news late this afternoon. Mark Hibble, the man who owns the home on Applegate Lane that was filled with dangerous chemicals, is now out of jail on bond. He was able to post a $10,000 bond to get out, but he has now been ordered to get treatment. In a previous court hearing, a judge required that he be treated at Wellspring in Louisville for his mental health. He has also been told to have no contact with dangerous chemicals or any kind of chemical substances of any kind. Hibble was squatting in a neighbor's house on Applegate. The EPA, by the way, started the dismantling of the house and the removal of chemicals just last Monday.
When officers arrived, they could hear additional shots being fired. The run was updated to a break-in in progress.
Now to our top story right here at 5 o'clock. An early morning break-in turned police shooting as officers arriving. The suspect was seen climbing out the window.
And the suspect right now is in the hospital. Police say this all started as a home invasion today, very early in the morning, happening around 3:30 this morning at 26 and Garland Avenue. Audio from police radio transmission calls indicate the call came from a woman who was locked inside her bathroom with her children. You can hear on the radio traffic. She tells 911 dispatchers she thought two people were inside her home.
Something just came through a window. I'm running with a gun.
LMPD arrived, and moments later, Police Chief Jackie Gwen Villarreal says the suspect came outside with a gun. That started a foot chase that lasted nearly 5.5 minutes based on the radio audio from police.
Officers gave verbal commands ordering the suspect to drop the gun. The suspect did not comply. Officers discharged their weapons, striking the subject several times.
The chief says officers immediately started first aid and EMS was already on the way. That person was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Following the shooting, officers stayed on scene at the house to see if there was any other suspects inside.
Police are calling this still an active investigation, and they are asking the public for help. If you know anything about what happened this morning or maybe have some home surveillance video from the area, police are asking that you contact them on the tip line. That's 574-LMPD. You can also use the online portal.
Right now, police in Nelson County are searching for a man accused in a stabbing. Take a look here. This is 33-year-old Daniel Mendez. The Nelson County Sheriff's Office said the stabbing happened last Thursday on Camp Branch Road. The female victim identified Mendez to dispatchers before she was taken to the hospital for treatment. Mendez is wanted for attempted murder and strangulation. If you know anything, call the Nelson County Dispatch at the number there on your screen. It's 502-348-1868.
Happening today, she's dedicated her life and career to public education and JCPS in Louisville. And now a longtime fixture on the school board, and the current chairwoman is resigning.
Diane Porter made the news public in a letter released today saying a chronic illness prevents her from continuing in that role. Diane Porter worked in education for almost 4 decades before being appointed to the board. She filled the vacant seat left by Ann Elmore, and in 2012 she was elected chair of the school board, making her the first African-American woman in that position. Well, WHAS11 Ian Hardwitt spoke with people who are familiar with her and her lifelong career at JCPS. Ian, what do they have to say about her?
Shay, Doug, that 39-year career she had at JCPS before retiring and joining the board, those I talked to say her experience as a teacher, guidance counselor, and principal make her seat a massive one to fill.
I don't think there's anyone else like Diane Porter.
Diane Porter spent 13 years on the school board for Kentucky's largest district, from 2010
The way I look at it, nothing's too good for our children.
to a difficult August.
Since 1975, when the two districts came together, to my knowledge, we have never had a student taken off the bus at 9:58 p.m.
Former and current colleagues describe her as dedicated, professional, and always putting kids first. Dr. Raymond Burse, vice president of Louisville NAACP, where Porter is a member, recalled one of her first votes on the school board.
I think her vote for the ouster of Shelley Berman as a superintendent was controversial. I can tell you that 2 of the groups that I was involved in were Berman supporters, but she's always voted for what she thought was in the best interest of the district and the best interest of students.
Audwin Helton worked with Porter during her time as an administrator and credits her with bringing cartography learning into high schools.
We had a solid committee of U of L folks, we had JCPS folks, and we had professional folks like me. And at the time, we had GIS programs in about 5 or 6 schools. And again, all because of Diane and her staff.
As Porter moves on from over 5 decades of working for Jefferson County kids, her friend Burse says she'll still be around doing more of the same.
She'll always be around, and her voice will be heard. And she's told me as we were working through this resignation process is, tell people that my voice is not going away.
Vice Chair Corey Scholl is expected to read her resignation at tonight's board meeting. I asked him over the phone today if he would seek the chair position. His answer, I'm willing to serve at the pleasure of my colleagues. Shay?
And thank you so much for the update. Well, by state law, Porter's empty seat must be filled by the JCPS board 60 days after they accept her resignation. A simple majority vote from the board will confirm that replacement.
The Kentucky Teacher of the Year, the Louisville man who just got that award in Frankfort recently, has now been reassigned by JCPS. JCPS math teacher Kamar Rashad has been reassigned from his teaching role at Breckenridge Metropolitan High School to non-instructional duties. Rashad has taught at the school for 18 years. He also acts as a board director for both Jefferson County Teachers Association and the Kentucky Educators Association. He was also named Kentucky High School Teacher of the Year just last month. JCPS has not yet said why Rashad was reassigned. We are working to get that information, and we will bring you an update as soon as we learn it. Rashad is also the Metro Council member representing District Number 3. We did contact him this afternoon, and he said he does not plan to comment until the matter is resolved.
Tonight, the Nelson County Board of Education will host a special meeting after a stunning resignation of a board member. It was read at the end of last week's meeting. Damon Jackie waited right till the end to announce he would retire from the board, accusing some other board members of lying, misleading the general public, and working toward a hidden agenda. For almost a week now, students, staff, and parents have been protesting the school board's decision to move forward with the discussion of a possible merge of the two county high schools. Well, tonight the board is expected to take up the resignation of Damon Jackie. The meeting is scheduled for 5:30 this evening. It'll be at the central office in Nelson County.
A heads up, drivers work on the Clark Memorial Bridge, that's the 2nd Street Bridge, started today. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says crews are making repairs to the bridge railing and the sidewalk. You should expect lane closures and traffic shifts during the construction. This project on the 2nd Street Bridge is expected to last a little bit longer. It's going to wrap up by the winter time. We've got another great fall day in Kentuckiana. When the clouds moved in, it sort of knocked the temperature down a little bit, but it's been nice and mild as it's expected this week to even get even warmer.
It's nice to have a little bit of sunshine here at the end of the year, as long as it doesn't get too hot, Colleen.
As long as we don't get to the 80s, right? We're at the end of October soon. Before we know it, it's going to be Thanksgiving, and we want that kind of weather. We're going to get it all over the next 10 days because we are talking about a big cold snap just in time for Halloween. Before we get there, we are going to be warming up, staying in the upper 70s, potentially getting to 80 later this week. But looking outside right now, we are seeing those clouds sticking around throughout the majority of the evening. Sitting at 75, again, pretty mild, not too cold, not too warm. Right now on the radar, we are seeing those clouds from a low pressure system that's going to stay off to the west. So no, that rain is not heading our way. We are going to stay dry throughout the evening, just going to continue to see those clouds throughout the first half of the day. So that means temperatures won't have that opportunity to cool off overnight. You're walking out to 57 tomorrow morning, getting into the low 70s around lunchtime. But I think as the afternoon goes on, we have more opportunities to see that sun. So sitting in the mid to upper 70s with a high of 78 for your Wednesday afternoon. That high pressure is going to continue to sit across Kentuckiana throughout the remainder of the week. It's not until this upcoming weekend, Sunday into Monday, where we are expecting a pretty significant cold snap in time for Halloween. It is a cold outlook if you have any trick-or-treating plans. I'm going to time out the rain and show you what kind of temperatures we can expect for Halloween in just about 10 minutes.
All right, Colleen, thank you so much. Well, every year the city gathers together during Domestic Violence Awareness Month to remember the victims we've lost over the past year. It's always a very emotional ceremony. Families and loved ones gathering around empty chairs, listening to their names.
Natasha Turner.
The point is to give these victims a voice. Elizabeth Martin with the Center for Women and Children says domestic gun violence is now on the rise, and one of the victims there was Amanda Miller. Her mother was at the ceremony today, very grateful for a chance to keep her daughter's memory alive. She tells us her daughter was dating a man for just a couple of weeks, and when she tried to end things, he shot her. Now she is raising her daughter's 3 children and using resources from the Center for Women and Children.
It means the world to me. It's like somebody is out there that cares about her. Somebody is speaking up for her. And I think this is great. I think this is an awesome thing that they do. And I think the program, the Women and Children program, I think it should be mentioned a lot more for women.
Mayor Craig Greenberg was at that ceremony. He says he's currently working to identify the root causes of violence against women, including financial stability and independence. In 2022, 20 domestic violence homicides were reported here in Louisville.